Hi, my name is Jake Schumann, and today I'm going to be talking about She Dwelt Among the Untrodden Ways by William Wordsworth. Before I start reading this poem, I'm just going to give you a little background on Wordsworth. So, he did not like the revolution that was going on, so he talked about nature to get away from it. And during this time period, which was the Romantic period, poets started to talk about supernatural literature, more emotion and intensity. They focused on one person or one thing, and it was less complicated word choice. So, William Wordsworth wrote 5 Lucy poems, and this is one of them, and it just talks about a woman named Lucy, and he never really told anyone who Lucy was, but obviously, if it was a real person, she was very important to Wordsworth. So these poems are Strange fits of passion have I known. She dwelt among the untrodden ways. I travelled among unknown men. 3 years she grew in sun and shower, and a slumber did my spirit seal. So now I'm going to read the poem. She dwelt among the untrodden ways beside the springs of Dove, Maid whom there were none to praise, and very few to love. A violet by a mossy stone, half hidden from the eye, fair as a star when only one is shining in the sky. She lived unknown, and few could know when Lucy ceased to be. But she is in her grave, and oh, the difference to me. Okay, so this poem is set up in 3 different stanzas. So this is the first stanza, this is the second stanza, and this is the third stanza. And the tones that I see are proud. So Wordsworth is proud that he knows that he knew Lucy in such a short time. Romantic, sweet, vibrant, remorseful, and melancholy. So some words I didn't know was untrodden. So untrodden is not having been walked on. Dwelt is to live in a specific place. Whom is just who. Praise, which is express approval or admiration. And since Wordsworth really used simple simple words for this, the last one I thought was the last one I kind of didn't really know was ceased, which is bring or come to an end. So now I'm going to analyze by sentence. So she dwelt among the untrodden ways beside the spring of Dove. So this is saying that Lucy, right here, Lucy is living beside the spring of Dove, which is actually the river Dove, and this was the name of 3 rivers Wordsworth lived by. And it's saying that she lived among the untrodden ways, so it was kind of secluded and not many people lived around her. And so a maid whom there were none to praise and very few to love. So I think this is kind of talking about people's perception of her and her perception of other people. So not many people were there to love her, and she didn't really have anyone for her to love. A violet by a mossy stone, half hidden from the eye. So this is comparing Lucy to a beautiful violet, as you can see here by the picture. Um, that's a violet. So it's by a mossy stone, half hidden from the eye. So it's something beautiful that's hard to see. Fair as a star when only one is shining in the sky. So it's saying that she's not only as beautiful as a star, she's as beautiful as a star if there was only one in the entire sky. She lived unknown, and few could know when Lucy ceased to be, but she is in her grave, and oh, the difference to me. So I think this one kind of has the most impact and the most meaning, other than the second stanza, because that really talks about Lucy, but this one talks about Lucy's death. Now, she was very short lived, and not many people knew her. Not many people knew that she died, and her death didn't really make a difference in other people's lives, but it made a difference in mine, and it affected me, which is Wordsworth, or whoever Wordsworth is trying to portray. So, some literary devices I found were a violet by a mossy stone. So, this is a metaphor for Lucy by saying that she's a beautiful violet by a mossy stone, that it's hard to see. And then fair as a star. So this is a simile comparing Lucy to a star. And I think throughout this whole stanza right here, it's definitely major imagery. Like you can just really imagine the one beautiful star in the sky and the one beautiful violet by the mossy stone. So for the themes and messages, I think the theme is definitely just the continuous talk about Lucy and her life and how she lived it, that she was very kind of secluded and lived her own life, but so she was just kind of happy, but also she kind of longed to have someone there to kind of praise and just be the love of her life. And messages, I think, would be to love someone quickly and fall in love quickly, because you never know how long they're going to be on the earth. And like this, Lucy died quick, but Wordsworth is happy because he was one of the only people that truly got to know her. So the plot of this poem goes by stanza. So the first one, it just really explains where Lucy lives and kind of how she lives her life secluded by the springs of Dove, which is actually the river Dove. And the second stanza kind of describes her as beautiful and part of nature and just like a bright star in the sky. But then the last stanza talks about how she ceased to be and death, and how this really only made a difference in Wordsworth's life, or whoever Wordsworth is trying to portray. So just to add things that I might have missed, or to just kind of sum this whole poem up, um, it's talking about Lucy, a woman who's lives secluded and how she's very beautiful, but she lived a short life because she died. And it's a three stanza poem written by English Romantic poet William Wordsworth in 1798 when he was 28 years old. So thank you for listening.